Welcome back, everybody. And today I'm going to be giving you guys some free game on 5 different ways that you can improve your credit score up to, but not limited to, 100 points is in the title. I'm going to tell you guys that you could potentially get up to 700 points off of these methods, depending on what your current credit score is. Now, if you're starting off on a blank credit profile, I will tell you I have plenty of other videos that can show you how to get up to 700 points almost instantly on a blank profile. And those videos will be more appropriate, but you can still use these strategies if you're starting on a profile that has collections or anything like that. So, first, if you have any collections on your credit report, the first thing that I'm going to tell you to do is to dispute the collections. Look at the collections, find what you can use to properly dispute them, find the reason that they are inaccurate, and dispute those collections. Now, if for whatever reason you are unable to dispute your collections, then you may want to go into step 2, which would be to settle that debt. So when you are going to settle debt, you can either do a normal settlement or my recommendation, which is a settle to delete. Now, a settle to delete allows you to pay the creditor a percentage of the amount that you owe them in order for that creditor to delete that collection off of your report. Okay. And it's an extremely important method to take note of, because in a lot of cases, this method is the go-to method that saves people when they're unable to dispute the debt and they're also unable to pay it in full. Now, of course, the third method is going to be to pay the debt outright in full. I will tell you that if you're looking at paying down debts and paying them off in full or settling them, what you have to be aware of is they can reset your timer for that 7 years for them to fall off of your credit report. Therefore, if this is an old collection, if it's been sitting on your credit report for 5, 6, or almost 7 years, if it's nearing that period where it will drop off of your credit report, instead of you paying that collection, you should then be focused on building your current credit profile out while you're in the process of waiting for that collection to fall off. Because if you just sit there and pay that collection, you're going to turn around and have that collection on there for another 7 years following payment. So it doesn't make sense to pay off something if it's not going to truthfully benefit you in the end, because you'll be having a paid collection sitting on your credit report for the next 7 years. Now, the next thing, number 4, is if you have late payments, call those banks and ask those banks if they will give you forgiveness. If they won't do it over the phone, try and write a letter to someone in that organization, the CFO or whomever, and ask them if there is a opportunity for you to have those late payments removed. They call these goodwill letters. If you're unsure how to do this, you can always look up the template for a goodwill letter. Over the phone is pretty simple. You just call in, hey, I've been a customer with you all for blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I missed a payment or two. I was having a hard time. Is there any way that you all could remove these payments? And then lastly, but not least, of course, you can always apply and add new trade lines. Rather they be, no credit check, simple credit builder accounts like Kickoff, Grain, Credit AI, etc., etc. or you get secured loans or secured credit cards to add to your profile. You can always add these things to your profile and build your credit profile out. Now, lastly, you guys know I always try to bring you guys a bonus tip. And my bonus tip for today is to be proactive. So before you let an account go to collections or miss payments, call the banks. Remember, the banks want to get paid. Remember, the collectors want to get paid. That is their end goal at the end of the day, is to get paid. Therefore, if you try to make some type of agreement to pay them, you're going to have a much better opportunity at getting approval to do that and not having any blemishes on your credit report, just by taking that proactive leap of faith. You will see a huge difference in your credit report in the future, as you're continuing to rebuild and rehabilitate that credit profile. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next video.